Hi, and welcome back to our GCP-Mindset channel and all topics on clinical research. Today, we'll give some tips on the monitoring visit report and what a monitor has to keep in mind. More after the break. When the direct work with a trial site is completed with a follow-up letter, a monitoring report is written. The guiding principle here is to present a complete and real picture of the course of the study and the cooperation with the trial staff. It should be part of your professional qualification to have the backbone to objectively note in the report if, for example, the investigator does not find the time for the monitor, or if there are problems in the cooperation, although you have offered corrective and preventive actions. The monitoring visit report is a summary of the results of the visit to the trial site. The report should mention the points discussed and provide a description of the activities performed and the points resolved. For this purpose, the monitoring report has the action points at the end. The monitoring visit report is an absolutely useful reminder. During preparation, you should try to summarize and document the decisive results of the visit briefly and concisely. This summary will be available to you as a preparation aid for the next visit. Make sure that the report is brief and precise. A focus in writing will facilitate your preparation. Strictly speaking, it is of help for the project management that has to keep oversight, which is only possible if the reports briefly and concisely describe essential information. When writing a report, care must be taken to ensure that the wording is understandable. It is read by different people who have a certain expectation from this report. The reports are written in English in academic style. The necessary information should be presented briefly and concisely, and any repetitions of individual words do not break any taboo. The focus of the written presentation should be on the comprehensibility of the information. The report is always written in the third person and thus receives an impersonal representation. Only facts are presented. Any assumptions should be avoided completely. Make sure not to embellish anything, but to maintain your objectivity. Sometimes it is necessary to rewrite something so that a project manager can more easily understand and grasp what it is all about. If you have experienced something extremely precarious, for example, an attempted fraud at a site, do not write this in the report, but pick up the phone and report it to the project manager in this way. The report should be structured. It is given a systematic structure by specifying the documents and showing which version you have checked. You name the IB, the study protocol, and the patient information. Your job as a monitor is to record medical data and processes that make it possible to analyze individual events retrospectively. In this way, you monitor the patient during the study and write a realistic report that takes into account your own security. Your validation means that everything that is important to you from your work context is actually recorded in writing. But you are not doing this only for yourself, but also for the project management, who must read and understand the reports of all CRAs. If you discover non-compliance that you cannot eliminate yourself, write it down in the report so that project management also receives the information. An auditor may later investigate and identify the misconduct, but at least you have done a good job if you have reported correctly. Your records should be prepared in such a way that another monitor, the project manager, or an auditor can quickly get an overview of the most important events at the trial site. It is advisable to write the report immediately after the visit. The ICHGCP guideline for this is that it should be prepared promptly. According to SUPs of most of the companies, this timeliness is defined as a period of 5 days. The records can initially be drafted and be finalized within 10 days. Reports that a CRA can also write offline are advantageous. You can write on the train or plane without an internet connection and do most of the work with this draft immediately after the visit. The next day you can do a fine-tuning and you will find that you can finalize it in about 2.5 hours. Most of the sponsors these days don't want to pay more for reporting. Furthermore, you dedicate your attention to the actions. In our reports, we always ask you to document actions. They must always be signed off by the project manager and appear in the report. So much about the monitoring visit report and what a monitor has to keep in mind. We hope that we could give you some interesting information and look forward to see you next time.